Welcome back to another Minecraft update video. It's Snapshot 24W36A for Minecraft 1.21.2. And this seems like a small snapshot, but it's got some huge under the hood changes. Not also that, we got some Minecraft movie news that we'll cover at the end of this video. So jumping straight into it, let's start with squids. Of course, recently we've seen changes to these dolphins and salmons. The change with the squid is that you can't spawn a baby one from the spawn egg, but you can right click on one to get a baby squid. But spawning them like this, always an adult. We also now know that when squid spawn in a group in the wild, there is a 5% chance of one of them being a baby squid. There was also a bug fix for the dolphins, meaning that baby dolphins can now spawn naturally too. How often they do though, I don't actually know. In this game, there are certain mobs that can be converted into another type, like the piglin in the overworld will convert into a zombified piglin. The big issue with this conversion is that they lose a lot of their MBT data. For example, a mob might have this much health, and then when it gets converted, it's got full health. And because some of these mobs have a different total amount of health, the amount that they have will be converted as a percentage. So 50% health would be converted, and that might mean it has more or less hearts overall, but it would be 50% of the total health. These changes have fixed other issues too. For example, you may have not known you can actually equip a villager with armor. You can't physically see it, but it will be treated as if it's wearing this armor. And when you convert a villager to a zombie villager, that armor will be lost, but not anymore. It will now remember what armor it has when it converts. Other converting issues include a mob losing its full damage if it's converting mid-air, falling to the ground. And also if they're on a team or they have any scores attached to them, those would have been forgotten, but now they'll be remembered when converting. Bats have been given a new tag list, bat spawnable on. This will define which type of blocks bats can actually spawn on in the world. This was created in response to a bug where it was deemed that bats spawning inside of mansions or underneath a tree would not be the correct place for a bat to spawn. Other item tags include repairs leather armor through iron chain, gold, diamond, netherite, turtle, and wolf armor. These lists will allow you to customize what items in the game can repair different types of armor. Another new tag list is piglin safe armor. Of course, we can wear gold armor in this game to keep us safe from the piglins. Now you can customize this to define other pieces of armor too. Before we crack on with the rest of this video, I just want to take a moment to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you're watching this video and you want to stay up to date with the snapshots, well, that's what I do here. So great reasons to subscribe. Anyway, thanks for listening. Now let's crack on with the video. Now we get to move on to the really good stuff. As it says here on the website, this week we are adding support for custom equipment. So here among the data pack changes, we have new item components. One of those is item model, and here you can specify your own custom model from a resource pack. Now you may know that it's possible to customize certain tools in this game with your own texture because when you're holding them in 3D, they're still just the flat texture. This was not true of armor until this day. Why is it turning diamond? Clearly something's broken in this update. This isn't diamond armor. What's going on? Obviously a bug, but point being, you couldn't customize the shape or the textures of these armor pieces. But now you are able to, and this comes with some other awesome stuff too, including if it's going to be equipable. And this means that the player can simply right click on it when they're holding it in a slot in their hotbar, and then it can equip that item. This is like how you can switch between elytra and chestplate just by having it on your hotbar and holding down right click. If you didn't know that one, it's a really useful little trick. Now this can be customized for any item that goes into one of these slots. You can also include a sound with that too, and there's more documentation here, including if it can be equipped via a dispenser. We've also got a new glider component that allows an item to behave like an elytra. So let's give ourselves a feather that can glide and is equipable in the head slot. Now this bit is comical. I got a mohawk, but this mohawk, my friends, it allows me to glide. Oh wait, I should really take the wings off. Hey, look at me, I'm still gliding, but now we can't see the mohawk. We can only see the cape. There you go, pretty cool. let's also just take this off to kind of prove a point. Now, you're also able to define the tooltip style of any of these items, but that's something we're just going to come back to in a little bit. Next up, we have some new predicates which can be used by data packs and commands, and this gives us the ability to detect the input of the player's controller if they're moving in a particular direction, if they're jumping, sneaking, or sprinting. So here's a brief example using a command. Whenever I move to the left, it's just going to create that little water bubble particle right there. It's also spitting out some commands, so you can see it's detecting us moving in this direction. And because this stuff is all custom, it can then be used to do a whole bunch of cool stuff, which is probably going to be really powerful in mini games and stuff driven by data packs. So now we move on to the resource pack, where there is the documentation for the tooltips and the equipment models that we've discussed already. And if this tweet is anything to go by, Ewan might be responsible for these tooltip changes. As they've pointed out, you could previously do this with shaders, but it'd be really simple to move it to resource packs. So here, for example, is a tooltip with like no texture around it whatsoever. Here we've changed the tooltip color to red. And then we got a humorous one here with a little Steve head popping up behind the regular tooltip. Now, I said a moment ago that we'll be coming back to the tooltips, and that's because we've got a special one defined on this diamond sword. So check it out. This is driven by the data that's on the sword. It tells it to use a different tooltip. Also, big shout out to Ewan for sharing these resource packs with me so I could show it to all of you. And yes, earlier I said Ewan. I'm really bad with names, please forgive me. According to this, all of those new equipment models should be compatible with trims as well, which is exciting. So as always, if you want to read up on this documentation, then check out the link in the description box below. I also got sent this by Missode after recording the video. I feel like I have to show you this. This was made by Amber of Minecraft Commands. You can see custom texture for the sword, and it comes with its own custom tooltip. Yep, the customization of this game keeps going to the next level. Next, we move on to the bugs, and there are quite a few really old ones that have been fixed here. So enchanted horse armor, and yes, this is enchanted. It's a little hard to see the glint. This should now render on a horse. Oh, it's soft, it's subtle, but I can see. Yep, it's enchanted, all right. This is so much easier to see on leather horse armor. Pretty cool. Here's an old one that goes as far back as 1.7.2. And you probably only notice this issue if ever you've layered up different types of stained glass. It creates this pattern in the rendering, which should now be patched up. This bug allows for entities going at a high enough velocity to simply pass through a collisionless block like a portal or like cobwebs. This could also be an issue for string that's between tripwire. It wouldn't set the tripwire hook off. So now, regardless of your velocity, you should interact with these blocks. Similar to this, it is possible to shoot a projectile through a portal and also it being ignored if its velocity is high enough. This has been patched as well. And the rest of these bugs are related to things breaking in the last couple of snapshots. There is also a known issue regarding ender pearls. They don't teleport you to the right location. As you can see, I'm just in some random new place. So my coordinates are like minus 4,500, minus 2,100, and then look at that, it's like it gets multiplied. I think the numbers have been doubled. So now we should go to like 18,000, well, minus 18,000. Yep, it just doubles the coordinate number. Mystery solved. You're welcome, Mojang. I have absolutely no idea how to fix this. While we're stranded in the middle of nowhere, I have something to show you from last week's snapshot. This was described as a bug fix and something to do with the bee's nest and the bee's hive lore. So I kind of skipped over it, not thinking it was anything. It's actually like a big new feature in my opinion. So they now have tooltips that tell you what's inside of them, how many bees there are, and what level of honey it has. So now when we go out into the wild and we silk touch a bee's nest, we'll have more information about what's inside of it. So that one has 5 out of 5 honey, but no bees. This is a huge deal, and I just do not get why it wasn't listed as a feature in that update. So next up, we're going to look at the bundles, which is an experimental feature. We don't know what update of Minecraft this is going to be in. There are essentially 2 changes here. The first one is when you're right-clicking like this, when the bundle is in your hotbar, it used to dispense everything inside of the bundle, but now it dispenses one group of items at a time. So these stacks of 16 come out first based on the order they went in, and then other items behind them. The other change is that their textures for how the bar here appears in the hotbar can be customized through a resource pack. So now for a final piece of Minecraft news this update video, we got an announcement regarding the Minecraft movie. And it's been announced here with the ultimate pun, a new kind of blockbuster. The Minecraft movie is coming out April the 4th, 2025. But that's not all. On YouTube, we also got a 80-second teaser trailer. However, this has been uploaded by Warner Brothers, and I have absolutely no idea what the copyright situation will be with this footage, so I'm going to avoid showing it, but of course I'll link to it down below so you can go and check out the Minecraft trailer after this video. So before you leave, please do leave a like on the video to support the channel, make sure you subscribe to catch future update videos, and hopefully I'll see you again next week with another snapshot. Bye bye! Before we...